Hi everyone, Namaste. So today I am going to explain another important topic, that is quantum numbers. This is the most important topic from the structure of atom. Now, number of scientists explain the structure of atom. Like J.J. Thomson explained plum pudding model. Similarly, Rutherford explained planetary model. Also, Bohr explained Bohr model. So, even all these models does not give a complete picture of an atom. So, quantum numbers simply explains a complete or perfect picture of an atom. So, what exactly quantum numbers are? These are the outcome of a quantum mechanical equation that is called Schrödinger equation. In 1926, Schrödinger proposed a wave equation that should be d square psi by dx square plus d square psi by dy square plus d square psi by dz square plus 8 pi square m by h square equal to e minus b psi equal to 0. This is called Schrödinger wave equation, or it can be also simply written as h psi is equal to e psi. Both are the same equation. This is a simple form of operator equation. Here the psi is wave function. Wave function means this function contains complete information of a system. A system can be an atom or a molecule or anything. So the complete information of that system will be present in wave function. It is also called intensity or amplitude of a wave. Now, to know this information, we must use an operator. That operator is called Hamiltonian operator. Simply example, if we want to know the square root of 9, here 9 is the system. To know the answer of square root of 9, we must use an operator like this. So this is an operator. By using an operator, we can know the information of a system. The answer must be 3. Like that, to know the information of a system, we must use an operator that is called Hamiltonian operator. This Hamiltonian operator will simply give energy of a wave function. That's why h psi is equal to e psi. Now, to solve this equation, it is a very complex, and they give a number of solutions. Some of these solutions are called quantum numbers. So, quantum numbers are the outcome of a Schrödinger wave equation. There are total 4 types of quantum numbers are there. First one is principal quantum number. The principal quantum number is proposed by Niels Bohr, and it is represented with small n. The values of n starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on, anything. It is proposed by Bohr. It is represented with n. The values of n starts from 1 up to 5. What is the use of this principal quantum number is, this explains energy and size of a shell. Shell is also called orbit, that we know. So, the shell energy and size is simply explained by principal quantum number. So, the value of n is bigger, its energy is higher, simply its size is also bigger. Simply n value explains energy and size of a shell. This is called principal quantum number. It is explained by Bohr, that we know in the Bohr model. Now, the second quantum number is azimuthal quantum number. This azimuthal quantum number is proposed by Sommerfeld. It is represented with letter L. The values of L start from 0 and up to n minus 1. Here n is principal Coulomb number. So the value of azimuthal Coulomb number must be depends on principal Coulomb number. With the help of principal Coulomb number, you can identify what is the value of azimuthal Coulomb number. It is represented with L. The value starts from 0 up to n minus 1. What is the use of this azimuthal Coulomb number is? It explains shape of a subshell. It explains shape of a subshell. By knowing the value of L, you can simply determine what is the shape of a subshell. Example. Here n we are taking a principal Coulomb number and L I am taking azimuthal Coulomb number. If n is 1, which means that is the first shell, so the L value must be 0. Why? Because L value starts from 0 and up to n minus 1. Here n is 1, 1 minus 1 will be 0. 0 to 0 means the value must be 0. Similarly, if n is equal to, the values of L must be 0 and 1, because starts from 0 up to n minus 1. Here n is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, so 0 to 1 means 0 and 1. Similarly, for 3, it must be 0, 1, 2. For 4, it must be 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. So these are the L values. N represents size and energy of a shell, whereas L values represents shape of a subshell. So what is the shape of subshell? See this. If L value is 0, then the subshell is called spherical subshell. This is also 0. This is also spherical. If L value is equal to 1, the shape must be dumbbell. Yeah, this is 0. First must be spherical. 1 must be dumbbell. And 2 must be double dumbbell. So these are the shapes of a subshell by knowing the value of L. If L is 0, that must be spherical subshell. If L is 1, that must be dumbbell subshell. L is 2, that must be double dumbbell subshell. This spherical subshell we are representing with the letter S, and this dumbbell subshell we are representing with letter P, and this double dumbbell subshell we are representing with letter D. So in a first shell there must be S subshell. In the second shell there must be S and P subshells. In the third shell there must be S, P and D subshell. Like that, when we are going to fourth shell, there must be S, P, D, F, that all we know. So S, P, D, F, all these are the subshells. What exactly subshell is, I will explain. So what exactly is subshell? It is also called simply orbital. So both are same, subshell and orbital. So an orbital is a space or region where the probability of finding electron must be maximum. Where we can find electron, that space we are simply called a subshell or orbital. Wherever we cannot find electron, that region we always call a node or nodal plane. So nodal plane is a region where the finding electron probability will be 0, and orbital is a region where the probability of finding electron must be maximum. So orbitals must be S, P, D, F. These are the electrons finding probability. So with this N and L values, simply we can imagine in any atom there must be nucleus at the center and electrons must be circulated in the shells. This is the shell. Shell means it is the path of an electron around the nucleus. Within this shell there must be some electron density will be present. That electron density region we always called a subshell. So in the first shell there must be a subshell. So this is spherical asymmetrical. Similarly in the second shell there must be a subshell also. They also contain P subshells. P subshells are dumbbell shaped. That's why I am given like this. Similarly, when we are going for third shell, there must be S subshell, P subshell, and also D subshell. That is a double dumbbell. So with the increasing of shell number, the number of subshells also will be increases. First shell contains S, second shell contains S and P, third shell contains S, P, D, the fourth one must be S, P, D, F, like that. Now this is the picture of an atom where electron density will be higher. This region we are calling as orbital or a subshell. Now when we are going to third quantum number, that is the magnetic quantum number. Magnetic quantum number is proposed by Linde and it is represented with M. The values of M starts from minus L up to plus L. What is the use of this magnetic quantum number is, it simply explains orientation of orbitals or subshells. So magnetic quantum number explains orientation of a subshell. Example, this is principal quantum number, this is azimuthal quantum number, and this is magnetic quantum number. As I explained, principal quantum number simply represents shell. Shell must be 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And L represents subshell shapes. It starts from 0 and up to n minus 1. So for first shell, there must be value 0, which means S subshell. For second shell, 0 and 1 possible, which means S and P. And for third one, it will be 0, 1, 2. That should be S, P, and D. That just removed fourth one. So these are principal and these are azimuthal quantum number. Now, what is the magnetic quantum number simply explains? It starts from minus L up to plus L, which means magnetic quantum number depends on azimuthal quantum number. When the value of L is 0, minus 0 to plus 0, that means M value is also 0. This is also 0. This is also 0. And here L value is 1, which means minus 1 to plus 1, which means minus 1, 0 and plus 1. There are 3 values are possible for M for a P subshell. Similarly for this will be 0, this is 1, this will be minus 1, 0 and plus 1. And for 2, minus 2 to plus 2, which means minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1 and plus 2. There are 5 values are possible. See this here. For any S subshell, there is only one digit is possible as an M value. But for P subshell, there are 3 digits are possible for magnetic quantum number. And for D subshell, there are 5 digits are possible for the magnetic quantum number. So simply magnetic quantum number represents number of orbitals exist for a subshell. For S subshell, there must be only one orbital exist. For P subshell, there must be 3 orbitals exist. These 3 orbitals we can write Px, Py and Pz. Similarly for D subshell, there must be 5 d orbitals exist. The d orbitals must be dxy, dyz, dxz, dx square y square, and the last one is dz square. So magnetic quantum number simply explains number of orbitals. Which orbital is orienting in this direction? That can be explained by magnetic quantum number. So In a first shell, there must be S subshell, and there is only one S subshell is possible. That is simply one orbital is possible. In second shell, S subshell is also possible, P subshell is also possible. For S subshell, only one orbital exists, but for P subshell, there must be three orbitals exist, Px, Py, Pz. Like that, for a third shell, there must be S subshell, P subshell, and D subshell. S must be 1, P must be 3, D must be 5. So these are the number of orbitals which is given by a magnetic Coulomb number. So these are the most important Coulomb numbers which explains shell, shape of the subshell, and the number of orbitals possible. This is about Coulomb numbers. And the last fourth Coulomb number is called spin Coulomb number. This spin Coulomb number simply gives information of the direction of rotation of an electron in orbital. In any orbital, there must be two electrons are possible. One must be clockwise, and the second must be anti-clockwise. So, if electron is rotating in clockwise, the spin Coulomb number represented with S, or sometimes it is also called ms. Anything we can written S or ms. So for this clockwise direction of electron, the value must be plus 1 by 2. For the anti-clockwise electron, the value must be minus 1 by 2. The simplest spin Coulomb number explains rotation of an electron either clockwise or anti-clockwise in an orbital. In any orbital, maximum 2 electrons are possible. One electron must be clockwise, the second electron must be anti-clockwise. Clockwise electron always exhibits spin plus of, and anti-clockwise electron always exhibits spin minus of. This is given by spin Coulomb number, which is proposed by Gauss-Smith, represented with S or ms. The values of this S or ms either plus or minus of. Very simple spin Coulomb number. So Coulomb number simply explains how atom structure will be. So by using these four Coulomb numbers, you can simply imagine structure of atom. Nucleus must be at the center. Electrons will be rotated around this nucleus in circular paths. Actually, Sommerfeld explained electrical paths. So the first shell contains spherical subshell, that is given by S. The second shell contains spherical S, also contains dumbbell P subshells. But there are total 3 P subshells are possible, Px, Py, Pz, so different orientations. Like that, the third shell contains S, 3p. There are 5 d orbitals. So, in a first shell, there is only one orbital. In the second shell, there must be 4 orbitals. One is S, remaining 3 are p. In the third shell, there must be 1 S, 3p, and 5 d. So, the number of orbitals can be easily identified by using formula n square. N square represents number of orbitals present in a shell. If it is 1, 1 square means 1. If it is second shell, 2 square means 4. If it is a third shell, 3 square means 9. If it is a fourth shell, there must be 16 orbitals are possible. So the number of orbitals can easily determined by using n square. It represents number of orbitals. Another formula 2n square, which gives number of electrons.